Okay, so hello everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome again to this session. This is the third day of the webinar. Today we have another senior personality, and he'll be going to speak on motivation and collaboration, a key for higher education. He's not new to our webinar. He has been an active participant for last 2 days now. And if I take you through his profile, he is Professor Suresh Kumar Chadha. I'll not be talking about what he did in the past. I'll be telling you what he is doing present. And he is a professor in University Business School in Punjab University, Chandigarh. And he is also a director of Business Remedies Limited. He is also the director of Center Placement Cell of his university. He is working quite actively with the governing bodies also, and he is chairman of the Regional Advisory Committee for Workers Education. He has been the member of Academic Board, Akal University. He is member of Governing Council of Guru Gobind.
Dr. Khan, I'm a learner. I'm a learner, Dr. Khan. So it's fair enough.
But it's our privilege to introduce you, sir. Thank you so much for coming.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Sorry for the inconvenience and the delay. Sorry for the delay. Is it audible to all of you?
Yes, it's audible. Anyway, I'll hand over the session to you.
All the
my camera.
Good afternoon, everybody. So really sorry for the inconvenience. There was some problem in the voice box. So I'm Professor Chadha. I'm a professor at UBS, Punjab University, Chandigarh. And it's a great privilege and honor to be here because I have around 38 years of experience of teaching, and I had produced more than 30 PhDs and written around 80 papers in the international and national journals. So I always want that this education is always close to my heart. And today what is required is that I always start with one thing, that I am a learner. Learning should never end. So before I start my lecture, I always start that with the God, that the spiritual quotient, that's very, very important, that the divine mission of life is to realize God, which is a privilege bestowed on only on human beings. So what is important is that without the God grace, nothing is possible. That is why I always start my lecture with taking the name of the God, because 5 things are very, very important in the coming times. That one thing is the knowledge is very important, and the second thing is you have to what? You have to work as a team. And the third thing, which is very important, that the values are very important. And the fourth thing is you have to be physically fit. And the last thing, which is very important for everybody, is that spiritual quotient. That I always start with the spiritual quotient. So today my lecture will be on how we can overcome this crisis, because behaviors are going to change. A lot of changes are going to take place. I think we have to change according to the times. I'm really grateful to Dr. Khan and the Vice Chancellor of your university to give me a chance to interact with the friends. So today the challenges are immense. I think that we have got a lot of challenges with COVID-19, because the financial crisis are going to be there. There are health issues, war-like conditions, climate conditions, poverty against hunger. So what is important is that huge challenges are facing in our country. So what is important is that how to manage this. The managing the crisis is very, very important. So my lecture will be confined to education plus innovation. That's very important. That education, if we are not innovating, we start nowhere. And then it has to be multiplied by the intensity of the technical use. Today, everything is going to be digitalization. Your digitalized supply chain management, we are talking about education. Everywhere we are going to have what? We are going to have these type of challenges. So first thing is, for a teacher, commitment to lifelong learning. You have to be learners. I was reading one book that was Alfred Toffler book, that was in that it mentioned that you have to be learner and unlearn everything and relearn. it's not only that the learning is important, it's also important that how quickly you are learning. That is, the rate of learning should be more than the rate of change. If we are not learning quickly, we are not changing ourselves quickly, we are not going to be in the market. And the second thing which is very important, that how you are able to change. Change is very important, because I think today the need of the hour is that we have to change whatever teaching methodologies we have been using earlier. We have to collaborate with the industry, because I think four things are very, very important for any country. The first thing is education. I always give a lot of emphasis on the education. And the second thing is the infrastructure. And third thing is the research. And the fourth thing, which is very important for any country, is the entrepreneurship. So I think we have to change. That's very important. And the third thing is share the success. We have to collaborate. I think today the need of the hour is that we have to collaborate with the industry, we have to collaborate with the governments, we have to collaborate with the research organizations. That's the very, very important. And the fourth thing is building relationships. I sometimes feel so disturbed that we are teaching our students that only IQ is important. We are not teaching them EQ. I think if you are going to be the leaders, three things are very, very important. IQ is very important, intelligent quotient is very important, EQ is very important. How you deal with the people. And then the third thing is spiritual quotient. That three things makes you a top class leader. I just shared with you one small story that J.R.D. Tata, he, one of the leading, that is the Tata Steel Company, that he was the founder of the Tata Steel Company, which was founded in India in 1907. He visited once in Jamshedpur. There is a city in India where they had a plant and they had a guest house. And there was in the guest house, 50 people were there for having a lunch. And the waiters were serving them. This J.R.D. Tata, who was the CEO of that company, do you know what he did? After having his lunch, he changed his clothes and became a waiter and served the waiters. That type of leadership today, what is important is that you have to go forward. Today these type of leaderships are required, that we want to be empathetic also. Not only that I'm talking about IQ, I should also talk about the empathy, that how my students are talking about. And then the third thing is, other thing is develop your personal productivity skills to manage time and commitments. You have to enhance your productivity, manage your time and commitments. And the last thing is learning to make certain that your projects add value. That is, if it doesn't add value to the students or to the society, it's of no use. So I think if you want to manage the crisis, these things are very, very important. Now I just try to give you that what I am teaching in the classes. As today in all the institutions, what is happening, it's teacher centric. Whatever I know, only that I'm trying to teach to the students. I'm not trying to involve the students. Today, I think my lecture, when I define my lecture, which I gave, uninterrupted rambling expositions of apparently irrelevant trivial information delivered in a sleep monotonous for 1 hour. Now, what it means that we come to the classes, deliver the lectures from the books. I had been teaching for the last 38 years. I don't recommend any books. I only tell the students to go to the libraries, read the articles, because all the things which are important is that we have to give them the latest things. And that is where we have to take into account. So the lecture should be what? My lecture is always like, you try to inform the students. Today, what I feel is students are already informed. With the Google, Baba is there. Everything is at their laptop. Nothing. We cannot. And sometimes I influence the students. Influence the student in the sense that I start from the topic which I know the best. I don't start from the basics. I always start my topic which I know the best. But I think you as a teachers, you have to inspire the students. My role as a teacher is to motivate them. I have to see that whatever I'm teaching, whether it's relevant, whether it's original, or it is making some impact on the society. That's very important. I just share you that a small story, that how inspiration is very, very important. Because I think that today, one of the things which are lacking in our education institutions are that we don't motivate our students. As a leader, as a teacher, my role is to motivate. I just give you one small story that little boy went to the school, and the principal of the school asked him to give him the notebook. And that little boy gave the diary to his principal, and the principal wrote on the diary that this boy is mentally retarded and the school is not capable of teaching this kid. And what he said, the principal said that go and show this note to your mother. That boy went to his mother and showed that note, and it was written that your child is retarded, mentally retarded, and we are not in a position to teach him. And do you know what the mother said? The mother said that it's written that he was curious that what's written on the note, and the mother said that your principal has written you are a genius, and they don't have the infrastructure to teach. So what do you know who this boy became? This boy became Thomas Edison, who invented bulb. So I think today the need of the hour is we have to motivate our youngsters. We have to tell them that you have to read new things. You have to upgrade whatever is relevant. Try to go into original. Try to have certain thing impact on this. So motivation simply means that you have to energize the students. That is very, very important, that if we are not energizing them, it's not going to be what? It's not going to motivate them. So I think, what is motivation? That is, today the most of the people are not knowing about the purpose of life. You have to tell them what the purpose of life. That's very important. Meaning, I think the passion has to be there. The purpose of life has to be there. Today, the as a teacher, you have to be a mentor, and you have to tell them that what is the purpose of education, how it can help to the society, how it can help you. That is very, very important. Today I feel that everybody is running after money because there are two main factors. One is the hygiene factors, and the second are the motivators. We are only concerned about our hygiene factors, that how we can acquire the land, how we can acquire the money, how we can acquire the status, how we can acquire the power. But motivators are the passion. I think where we are missing is that the passion is not there. Because if you are having the passion and the hygiene factors, if both are there, then only you are going to be successful. So what I mean is that you have to give them the purpose. That's why I sometimes get so disturbed that everybody is running after the money. And what happened that you just see that the coronavirus, what has happened is COVID-19, the nature has shown that you cannot destroy us. And that is where we have to take into account. The purpose is very important. And the second thing is you have to be outstanding as a teacher and as a student. I was just reading one book that was Good to Great, Jim Collins' book. Today, I think we don't need good people. We need great people. Today, I think whatever you do, that should be outstanding. I think today, it's not that I'm doing anything which is ordinary. Because I sometimes give an example of in our country, Dibbawalas are there in Bombay. And you'll be surprised that in Dibbawalas, these people deliver around 5 lakh tiffins in Bombay. And you know how all of them are illiterate. And they not even what? Not even a single complaint is there. I talk about 6 sigmas, but they are 10 sigmas. Not in a single mistake is done. So today, the need of the hour is you have to be outstanding. You have to be excellent. And the third thing is tender to tough. I always want that you should always be not afraid of failures. Steve Jobs said that he used to celebrate his failures. But here, what is happening in our country or in our students, that we don't fail them. They are not used to the failures. I tell you that if a person never fails in his life, he cannot be successful. Today, there should be no fear, because today I talk about the innovation. Innovation can only take place if we are what? We are ready to make mistakes. And that is where you have to make the students tough. Know about. And it doesn't mean that you have to fail, fail fast so that you can change according to the situation. Don't carry your emotional baggage for too long. If you failed in life, okay. In my life also, many a times my articles have not been published, but I never mind in that case. I tried to work much better and got my work published. So we have to make the people tough. And in that case, I sometimes quote one book from that is Stay Hungry and Stay Foolish. That is, you should always be hungry for learning something new, by Steve Jobs. And foolish means you don't know anything. That's very, very important. And the other thing is you have to improve yourselves. We always react to the situations. Reacting is not important. Reacting always reflects some egos. You have to respond to the situation, always improve. There are always chances of improve. I've done something in my life, I still can improve. So I think my thing is that my students, when they join me, they should always be what? I should add some value. They should improve their knowledge, they should improve their skills, they should improve their attitude, they should improve their. And the other thing is voice to vision. Vision is very important. What they would like to see 5 years down the line, where they would like to, where they want to be. Because vision, without vision, nothing is feasible. Today, I think vision is so important that you have to what? You should have the be very, very focused that I want to do something in my life. That's very important. I sometimes tell in my classes that not only the corporate should have the vision, even the human beings in the families, you should also have the vision of your families also, that what they want to do after 5 years, where they would like to see your children after 10 years. That's also very important. So vision is the roadmap. And then achieve. You should always be want to achieve something in your life. Aim is important. That aim is always, it's a theoretical, but achievement is that I want to achieve this. And I tell you that if you work hard, anything is possible in the world. And the other thing is you have to build a trust. Trust is relationships. Today, I think a teacher, a good teacher, three, four things are very, very important. The first thing is credibility. A good teacher will never go to his classroom without preparation. That is the first thing. You should always have some credibility. You should always want to do something different in life. Always do your homework. And the second thing is reliability. If you have given a student a time of 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock means 2 o'clock. That's very important. And the third thing is intimacy. That is build the trust with the students. Always try to trust them. We sometimes have so negative feelings. If a student come to us, we don't try to solve his problems. Trust him. If he's having some problem, we should always be there to help him. And the last thing is innovation. You should always try to innovate something. I think today innovation is the key. If I am not innovating, you just see the companies like Kodak, the companies like Bajaj Autos, now they are all out of the market. Why? Because they never change according to the time. So innovation is the key. In education also, we should continuously do the research. And I will just try to give you that how you can collaborate with the industry, what we have been doing in our Punjab University, that how I will be giving you the methodology that how you can collaborate with these industries. So I think if you want to be an effective teacher, the main problem is the we always try to give 100% to the students. Don't give 100%. When I was studying in the university, my teacher used to complete only 70% of the syllabus. And remaining 30% used to say that what's not covered in the class will be covered in the examination. That was a challenge to me. But what is happening? My teacher is giving 100% to the students. They are not challenging them. All the students are in the comfort zone. So challenge them. And then another thing is, don't mention anything once. If something is very important, try to what? Try to explain again and again. Try to give them the basics. And then the third thing is, try to involve some exercises, creative exercises. I always tell my students that you have to do certain mental exercises. Today, the companies are looking for the people. I was the director for placement for 10 years in the Punjab University, and I used to deal with almost 100 companies every year. And the trait they were looking for, that is the person who was having the creative skills or critical thinking, because they want that a person can do something different in their organizations. And then don't confess and profess. Today, all of you are professors. You can do wonders in life. Don't underestimate yourselves. And I tell you that if you are a professor, behave like a professor, act like a professor, and have full confidence, nothing to worry. And the other thing is, don't extemporize, don't try to what? Always try to be organized. Always try to organize your lectures. Because I think the biggest challenge which the education is facing is we don't evaluate the students properly. We are not, we are good in making the syllabi, but where lies the problem? We are not evaluating them properly. I think the evaluation of the student is very, very important. And then break it down by adding some jokes, and then don't exceed the time. Whatever time has been given, you have to what? You have to go for that time. So I think I now all of you are listening. Dr. Shah, everything is audible? Dr. Shah, hello? Hello?
We
Absolutely.
hear you. We hear you.
Everything is audible?
Yes, yes, yes. Everything is
Dr.
audible.
Shah?
Yes.
So I have given 10 values, a small
Yes.
exercise, because the teacher should have these 10 values, right? Hello? Hello?
You are audible to us, sir. I am just muting the microphone so that there is no echo.
So now what you can do, I've given 10 values on the screen. Are you seeing 10 values?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, I have given in an unorganized way. You have to tell me, everybody should lay down which are the values 1 to 10. They have to rate them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I will tell you which are the values which are important. Okay? I will be giving 2 minutes to all the participants to rate their values according to their own preferences. Are you clear?
Can you do in the chat box, sir? Chat box will be more
In the
easy for all.
chat box, it's not visible.
It's visible, but chat box will be
Okay,
easy for.
but I don't have the chat box right now because
I'll read for you. Don't worry. I'll read for you.
just
The moment response comes, I'll read for you.
okay. Just tell me
I
that
have
which
all
are the
the access.
values. Then I'll tell you that. Is it okay? Everybody doing it?
Hopefully, yes. I can see some people writing.
They have to only rank it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'll tell them which is the first, and then they can check it at the homes, right?
Yes.
Okay, shall I start now?
Yes, please.
So values are very, very important for anybody, right? I always believe that the fundamental beliefs, every organization should have values. So shall I do it?
Please continue, Professor. Please continue.
The first value is always faith. Always have faith in yourself. Right? That is the first thing. The second which comes is family. Family is very important. The third is health. Health is very important. Third one. And fourth is learning. Always be a learner. Fifth is peace. Sixth is creativity. Seventh is inspiring others. Eighth is doing meaningful work. And 10th is making difference. 9th. And 10th is financial security.
But
Is it
normally
okay?
finance utmost importance. Normally
Now
in
what
our life.
happens, people, but what is important is if you have got faith in yourself, if family is there, health is there, if you have got learning, creative, money will flow. So what is happening? That's why we are going upside down. That is, I tell you that the most important, have faith in yourself. All of you are very good. All of you have got a lot of potential. You can do wonders in your life. Never underestimate yourself. Money will flow. Are you clear? So today, I think the four things that is very important is that don't lose faith in yourself. And that's why I just share you a small joke that a man came to the running from his office and told his wife that today I came running from the office and saved 10 rupees behind a bus. The wife said, "You are a fool. You should have ran behind a car or a taxi and saved 250 rupees. That's what we are doing. Everybody running after money, losing faith, losing families, losing health, losing peace, losing creativity, losing learning. So I think these are the values that are very, very important for all of us. Are you clear? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir, absolutely clear. You are audible to us, very loud and clear.
Okay. Just wait. There's some problem in my. Now I'll try to. Okay. Now. Okay. Now I'll try to. Hello. Hello.
Yes,
Hello,
sir.
Dr. Shah. Now I will try to. Now I'll try to give you that how you can collaborate with the industries. Hello.
Yes, sir, clear.
Hello.
Yes, sir, you are
Now I'll
audible
tell
to
you
us.
how. Now what is important? I'll tell you the implications is that now collaboration. We are all connected, economically, technically, and socially. Complexity and the uncertainty will continue to increase in the changing times. Problems can no longer be solved by one individual, one organization, or one government. The crisis which you are having, it cannot be solved by one person, one organization, or one government. What is needed is cooperation, collaboration, networking are essential innovation. We have to cooperate, we have to go for collaboration, and we have to go for networking. And for that, we need strong leadership. and new business models. I started my lecture with this that education plus innovation and then use of the technologies. These are going to be the key if we want to grow economically. And there comes the role of universities. Here comes the role of the researchers. So how you can collaborate? There are certain engineering deans also there. There are certain deans of the quality assurance. 4 types of collaborations can be there because researcher led, industry led, government led, and industry association led. What in our Punjab University, what we have done, we have created a manufacturing roundtable, networking amongst the manufacturing firms, and we try to have monthly meetings to discuss the current issues and share knowledge. Normally, what happens when we try to have the industry interaction, we say that we invite the people and deliver a lecture, and we say that collaboration is over. It's not like that. You should have what? You should have regular meetings with the manufacturing units. You should take your students along with the research fellows, along with the teachers, go to the companies and ask them what are the problems. Bring back their problems and try to solve them. That type of collaboration is required. What they can do. And company visit for group of students, they can go. And so what I understand is they can be guest lectures, case studies. You can prepare the case studies, participation in the research project. So what is important is that the first type of collaboration is what we are doing is I'm teaching from my books. I'm not having any what? I'm not having any tie-up with the industries. And that's why whatever I'm teaching, it's not relevant in what? It's not relevant to the students. That's the first thing. Now, that we started in our university, that we started the manufacturing roundtable. But there are typical concerns for the industry is that researchers are too theoretical and they won't lack their infrastructure is not there. Poor relationships, little information sharing. So what is important is that the researchers, as a researcher, you have to go for, sometimes I produce more than 30 PhDs. We are doing PhDs on Japan, we are doing PhDs on USA, but we are not trying to solve the problems of society. I think whenever you're giving any topics to the students, try to give them the topics that can solve the problems of the society. That's very important. Don't try to go for USA and all that because that is not going to be relevant for you people. And the second type of industry led, that is, we try to facilitate by knowledge transfer, successful companies open the door. We also try to what? The company should also be open to come with us and they should allow the student to have the factory tour, presentations. That's second type. The first is you visit there and then the companies will visit your business schools. And that is sharing of expertise and resources, build partnerships, faster adoption of best practices, help develop, showcase companies, improve the competitiveness. So that is how I was in USA, and what I found that the company CEOs, they go and visit the universities and they talk to them and they tell them how we can solve, how they can help us in solving the problems. So invite them. That is the second type of collaboration you can have. And then the third type is government-led. That is, now you just see in India, 84% of the industries in India are the MSMEs, small units. And now with this COVID-19, most of the MSMEs have been hard hit. They don't have any working capital. All the operations have been closed. Now, what the government should do? The government should develop the supply chain management for these MSMEs. They should fund them. That is how the collaboration have to be there. It's not only that the universities should have the relationship with the industry, but government should also be involved because they can provide funds they can help the industries and they can create the supply chains in order to make what? In order to make your industries more competitive. And then the last thing is industry associations are there, like in India, they're having CII, SOCHAM, FICCI, and we should also try to what? We should also try to link with it. In our Punjab University, we had been trying to collaborate with the researchers, industries, in government, and the industry associations. And I tell you that the teachers have also grown, and also now we invite the companies and we tell them that, okay, you tell us what should be included in the curriculum. Not only they are involved in giving, we are involved in giving the suggestions or solving the problems, but they also tell us that how we can devise the syllabi so that the students are prepared according to the needs and desires of the industry. That type of collaboration is required if we want to overcome in this type of crisis. I think universities, I am a great believer that most of the teachers are getting the research projects, they are getting the consultancy projects, and they are working with them. Not only it's benefited to the student, but the industry is also being benefited, and the government is also benefited. So that type of collaboration is needed. I think in your university also, you should also start with what? You should also start these type of collaborations that can help in the coming times. You can take some help of the industries, not only in the consultancies, but even in the designing of the syllabus. I was in one university, you must have heard the name of Lovely Professional University. And what they used to do, they used to call 10 people from the industry and 10 people from the academia. And whenever they used to frame the syllabi, each and every syllabus was to be taken into account. That is, we should evaluate each and every syllabus so that the needs of the industry is also met. So I think my worry is that whether we are giving the students relevant education is very important, original, and that should make an impact on their jobs. If we are not doing this, it means we are not doing justice with the students. I think today the need of the time is the cycle time is going to reduce. You'll find digital technologies are going to be there. You'll find the companies are looking for zero defect. You'll find digital value chains. Cyber security is going to be another area, and you have to stay with the solutions. So these are some of the things which I would like that you, being one of the universities, greatest universities of Oman, they should try to involve the students and the teachers and the industry and the government and the CII, how they can help the students in getting the jobs and fulfilling the needs of the society. I think that is very, very important. What I want to say is that collaboration is the key. So I think in my thing that when I talk about education, 4 C's are very important. Collaboration is very important. If we don't collaborate, we are not going to be successful. I think not only the collaboration should be with the industry, even with the fellow friends, there should be collaboration. And then another, we should communicate with the government, we should communicate with the society, and then critical thinking. The students should be asked to solve the problems. And last thing is innovation. That is, innovation is the key. I just tell you that if we don't innovate, we are not going to sustain. So education can play an important role in collaborating with industry, coming out with the solutions, coming out with some research. You just see now the COVID-19 medicines, which is vaccine, which is going to be there. Many industries are collaborating with the universities in order to come out with the solution. So that is the key in the coming scenario, that if we want to sustain and if we want to have the competitive advantage. So what I want is, in this times of crisis, agility is very important. Agility means flexibility. Don't think that it's a crisis. Convert this crisis into an opportunity. You have to be flexible. Like you, Dr. Khan has converted into an opportunity by organizing these lectures. That's an opportunity. So many people are being connected. And then the second thing is adaptability. You should see what your competitors are doing. Change according to that. And third thing is executability. You should be better than your competitors. So what I want is that if in this time of crisis, we can play an important role, universities can play an important role, you teachers, researchers can play an important role, and because you can make it an opportunity, adapt according to the situation, and try to be better than your competitors, only then we can what? Only then we can say that we are going to be successful. So I think that's why I started my lecture with education plus innovation. Innovation with collaboration with the industries and using digital technologies. That's going to result into the economic growth of the country. So we have to serve the society. We have to give back to the society. That's what the corporate social responsibility will also be there. So I think my learning points from my lecture was always be humble, always be a learner. Don't say I know everything. I am still a learner. Learning should never end. But we people are so egoistic. Ego means earnings go out. E for earning, G for go, and O for out. So always be humbled, always be learners. Second is empowered. Empower your students. I learn from my students. Sometimes they give me better knowledge. So I think empower your students. Empowerment is very important. New perspective, always try to bring about change. Think differently. Don't try to what? Don't give up. I think that today the need of the artists, don't give up. You all are very good and live in the moment. Why we people are not innovative? We only live in past and we only live in future. We don't live in the moment. If you want to be creative, you have to live in the moment. Overcome this moment by coming out something different. So that is present is very, very important. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Past is gone. And the other thing is value of relationship and family. I was just going through one book, and in that book it said that people who are happy only they can innovate. And for happiness, the family relationships are very important. Friends are very important. Freedom is very important. I think if you are having the families, if you are having the relationship with your friends, you will be a happy person. And if you are a happy person, you are bound to be more innovative. And then other thing is, universe can try to achieve, help you achieve. You can do anything. All of you have got a lot of potential. You can do wonders in your life. And then resources are limitless. There are no problems. I just told you today the need is you have to change, convert this threat into an opportunity by doing something different. And the last thing is dreams are the first step, the secret book, which you know that dream something big in life. Don't be just satisfied. Don't be satisfied with the good. Try to be great because the good is the enemy of great. We are very happy with the good schools. We are very happy with the good universities. We are very happy with the good hospitals. But today, the need of the hour is we need greatest universities, greatest colleges, greatest schools. And the last thing is you have to be motivated. So I think if you want to sustain in this, always be motivated. So my lecture was that how I can motivate my young teachers, how I can motivate my students. Always be motivated. Don't have any fear. And the second thing is gratitude is very important. Always be gratitude. Because today we always are complaining. I just give you one example that what type of nature we are having. Everything is audible, Dr. Shah? Hello?
Yes, sir, you are
Hello?
audible. You are loud and clear.
I was just
Audible.
uh, Dr. Shad, gratitude, where I just give you one small example that we people always complain. When I want to go to some good university, I always pray to the God I should be in this university. I'm praying day and night. Once I enter that university as a faculty, after 3 months, I start complaining. That's my nature. I want always have the nature of gratitude. Always be gratitude. That is very, very always. Oh, you're all blessed. You should always be grateful to the God, to the system, and to the universities which are giving you what? Giving you the livelihood. And then gift of generosity, give back. Give back to the society. I think we teachers can give back to the society by producing good students so that they can be employable. Education does not mean that that the students are educated. I want that we should hone their skills, we should hone their knowledge, we should make them industry ready. That's type of generosity we have to give back to the society. And then gift of harmlessness, don't harm anybody. Don't harm anybody, don't criticize. That's why I just told you that the role of empathy, EQ. I was just reading one book of Satya Nadella, who is the CEO of Microsoft. Hit refresh. Do you know he has one son who is mentally retarded, and he joined as a CEO of Microsoft in 2014. Do you know when he joined, that was worth 200 million. But now you just see the worth of this company is more than 400 million. Now it is more than $10 billion. So what it means, he had the empathy with the people. He had empathy with his son, and the same empathy he showed to their employees. And do you know that company risen to such a high level in just 6 years? So I think today the need of the hour is we have to what? We have to no harm. Empathy is very, very important. Empathize with your students, empathize with your subordinates, empathize with your people, teamwork. And then selfless service, don't have any intention, wrong intentions. Always try to be selfless so that you can serve the society. And the last thing is habit of habit of mindfulness. Mindfulness means innovative. Be creative. Do things differently. Don't try to do the things same. Try to create something new. That is the mindfulness means happiness and do something new in your life. I think that type of persons are going to be successful. And then the last thing is habit of total acceptance, surrender to the God. You should always, because if you surrender to the God, you can do wonders in life. Surrender, and if you do any work taking the name of the God, you will find that is going to be what? That's going to be far excellent. So today, these days, there are Ramadan that is going on. I think that's the right time. You can have what you surrender to the God, and you can do wonders in life. That type of spirit has to be there. So I think you should maintain a balance between the mind, that is IQ, balance between the EQ, relationships, balance between the SQ, spiritual quotient, and the physical quotient. Physical quotient means your body, how you are trying to work, how you are trying to be physically fit. And if you maintain a balance, right? If you maintain a balance of the mind, relationships, EQ, spiritual, and intellect, and the body, you will find you are going to be what? You are going to be more innovative, and you are going to be much better in the coming time. So I think my last slide is humanizing education. We need new pedagogical visions that hold promise for humanizing education and embracing approaches to education that move both teachers and students toward wholeness and well-being in their learning and development as human beings. Nothing replaces embodied learning and dialogue in the space of teaching and learning. That type of Learning has to be there, body, mind, relationships, spiritual. If we try to have this balance, only then we can get better type of what? Better type of human being and the better type of human resources. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much. So I end up with one small joke that hello,
Yes, sir.
hello.
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
I end up with one small joke that a lady was sitting in a bus and next to the lady was a gentleman. And what the gentleman observed that the lady was wearing a wedding ring in a wrong finger. And the gentleman asked the lady that why you are wearing a wedding ring in a wrong finger. She said, I married to a wrong guy. So thank God I'm not at the wrong place. I'm at the right place talking to the young researchers, young teachers, dynamic people, dynamic leaders, people who are the deputy vice chancellors, who are the deans. I'm at the right place. I'm not at the right place. So any questions? Thank you very much for your patient listening. Any questions? You are most welcome to ask any question. Thank you for giving time and thank you for listening to my lecture. Thank you, Dr. Shah. So any questions are there?
Thank you
I'm
so
there
much.
to. Hello?
We have a lot of questions for you, Professor. We have a lot of questions for you. It seems your session was very enticing for all the people. The first question I have from Department of Student Affairs, which is also dealing with the placements. They are referring to your session. They are saying that you were involved with collaboration with industry and you were talking about it in your presentation also. They are saying, what challenges do you face when you approach the industry? Because for us, approaching industry has been a big challenge because normally we approach the industries through our alumni, through our friends who are already active. But whenever there is a new company to tap, we get a setback. We are not able to collaborate with them with that efficiency and effectiveness. What is your take on
Dr.
this?
Shah, Dr. Shah, I just told you relationship is the key. It's not that we approach the companies only when we are in need of them. We approach the alumni only when we want them. You should start the relationship from the day one. Call them for the meetings. Call them for the lectures. Alumni, normally what happens, we have this vision that we call them only when we are in need of the placements. You should invite them. There should be constantly industry interactions. And they also know that they are inviting us only for what? They are inviting us only for the placement, not like that. Relationships have to be built. You have to what? You have, it's not that once you have to call them, you have to spend a lot of time on them, you have to spend a lot of money, and then only you should try to what? Call your alumni also. That's very important. I just tell you, if you call them properly, maintain the relationships, they will always help you. Normally, what I used to do, I used to organize some small roundtable conference, invite the HRs of the different banks, and we should honor them properly. All the HRs were sitting there, and we should interact with the students. That type of small interaction can result into more profitable relationships. That's very important.
Thank you so much,
Understood?
Professor. Yes, yes, Professor.
Don't call them at the
What?
time of
Yes,
hello.
yes, you are audible to us.
And next,
Now, the next question is we have a faculty. His name is Kashif Ali Sabri. He is quoting you. He says that, I quote, I start with best and not with the basic, unquote. Great. How you handle the low level student because they need to start from the basic. So if you start from the best, somewhere we ignore the students who need our attention at the basic level. So what is your take on that?
see, what I used to do is that sometimes I used to collaborate, tell them form a team. You have to form a team in the group, in the students. Two students good, two students average, and tell them to given a project. Give them together. Don't try to isolate them. Involve, make a group of the. I suppose one student is not good in accounts, another person is not good in marketing. Form that group so that they can learn from each other. Team learning is very important. I give them team projects. I give them projects jointly, and so that, and I tell them that what happens if that's the placement problem is that if out of 100 students, 20 students are not good, and if 20 students are placed before the company and they don't perform good, then you are not able to place other people. Give them this type of knowledge that you can be only placed if all of them are equally good. And destiny never knows that a person who is today at the lowest level, he may be at what? At the top level. You have to counsel the students. We teach them, make them learn, try to take along with them. Because I tell you, in my life experience, the student who got the least marks, he is the richest man in our group today. So you never know the destiny. And I'll just tell you one other instance. One of my students, he was having a compartment, and now he is teaching in Harvard Business School. So you never know the destiny. So you have to counsel them as a teachers, counsel them that they have to work as a group.
This
Am
is the
I
next.
okay?
The
Are you
question is
satisfied?
next. Yes, the question is related to your talk only. Uh, in the response of what you said just now, I have received series of questions to be asked to you, and it says that what actually motivates the students. Means we are saying that financial stability comes at the end. Okay, finances comes at the end. So what can be the incentives for success which can be taught to the students to start with?
See, the biggest problem with R is we don't challenge them. The first thing is we place them in the comfort zone, challenge
Yes.
them, give them so much of, try to tell them that some assignments and it has to be evaluated, challenge them. The problem with our private institutes are we treat them as guests. They are in a very comfort zone and we don't fail them. That's why if we don't evaluate them properly, they also know that we are not going to have what? We
But
are
at
not going
times
to fail in our life. Hello?
you challenge the students, but in return, the student end up in challenging you. For example, you said that when you were studying in the university, the professor used to teach you only 70%, and he used to say that 30% will be covered in the examination. Now, if I put that equation into our system, we'll find that the students at times will claim that the professor has not taught us this 30%. Why he's asking questions from it? So
See, that's
that's
the I fully endorse it. That's where we are lacking is the private institutes. They don't challenge them. We are not evaluating them properly. When I'm giving the assessment, everybody's given 20 out of 20. How come it's 20 out of 20? You have to discriminate. It's my fault. I give everybody 30 out of 30. Fault doesn't lie with the student. You have to tell them that I am going to evaluate you on certain parameters. In our UBS, we fail students even if they have got a job of 20 lakh rupees. That system has to be there. And am I clear?
yes, yes, yes. I had an experience of
System have to
working.
be there, sir.
I had an
But
experience of
system
working
have
with the government institution also, but in the government institutions as well, in order to maintain the quality, there is something called syllabus completion report to be submitted by the faculty members.
see.
And
If I want to complete a syllabus, it just take one day. I can give
yes,
them assignments, I can do it. My justification have to be there. I have to teach them properly. It's my role also. right? But you should give them certain case studies, you should give them certain topics they have to do on their own, right?
True.
See, the problem, what I feel is, the problem is in our universities, 100% courses are being set by the universities. Why not we give the autonomy to the teachers? The 10%, 20% syllabus will be framed by the teachers so that they can give the latest topics, right? That type of system can be involved. Hello?
That's a good suggestion, actually, Professor. That's a good suggestion. I hope that we have people from quality assurance attending this session right now. They are taking a note of it. My next question is actually on you, that how we can, what is your definition of a good university? What ideal institution functioning in a country, in a developing country like Oman should look like?
See, I think good university should serve the society. That is very important. I just gave an example that we are doing research on USA, we are doing research on other things. We as a university, coverage is very important, cost is very important. And we should try to see that how we can help the society where we are there, so that we can remove the problems of the society. Universities where, like, problems of the industry, problems of society, problems of the banks, problems of all these, government, public policy, how we can help them. And that is where we should go and meet the, recently one of my friends from Monash University came and we carried out a research on food supply chain management. It's not that they came to us, we went to the industries, we went to the government. Normally what happens, sometimes our professors have a lot of egos. We think that we are supreme and they will come to us. It's not like that. We have to go to the government, we have to go to the industries, we have to go to the banks and tell them how we can help you out, the society. That's the role of the universities. Am
So
I clear?
now the thing is, there are three things that we have to consider. What I take you from your session, and that is going to be the next question also, which one of our faculty, Mr. Irmal, is asking. He asks that what should be the customization level? The customization should be based on the need of the students. The customization should be based on the needs of the industry, or the customization should be done based on the society. So how we are going to customize, or because most of the curricula which is taught today is actually borrowed from some other systems and educational institutions. So we are just copying, and then it is less customized and tailor-made to our requirements. So what
See,
factors should be?
Dr. Shah, the problem with us is that we have got so rigid syllabus, we don't change. Hello?
That's what that animal is also writing. Curricula is very rigid.
It's very rigid. The problem is that's why in IITs and in IIMs in our university in India, they change according to what? They change the syllabi according to the times. Don't have, that's why I just gave an example of lovely university. They called 10 people from the industry, 10 people from the academia, and each and every syllabus was being evaluated. Why can't you do this like this?
We also have a system like this, Professor. We also have, as per the norms, we are revising the syllabus every 5 years. In the previous university, we were
5 years is too 5 years is too long. Nowadays, the cycle time is 1 year, at the most 2 years.
if
Five
we
years
make
is,
think somewhere training the teachers also becomes a challenge, because the way technology is evolving, if the moment a new curricula is implemented, you need to train your teachers also, and then it
see,
takes around to equip the teachers,
see,
and if you're not
that's the,
a teacher, you have to go for recruitment.
See, that's the way I just tell you, the teacher goes to the industry, they frame the syllabi, and the industry people come for teaching, involve
Okay.
them. Even the
So that
teacher should sit in the classes. I sometimes go to CIA and sit for 8 hours. I go and listen.
okay.
It's not like that. We people, everything want that, everything. It's not like that, Dr. Shah. We have to secure. The times are changing. Things are going to be very, very tough. What I feel. Hello?
That's true. That's true. I can
Any other
relate with this.
question?
Now,
Any
when
other
you are
question?
in industries, what is your modus operandi? Means you are involving them, you are paying them. Means you have a budget for inviting the industries, or they are voluntarily coming and contributing. How you are managing the finances? Because in the government institutions, there are lots of problems that you face.
No, you are a government institution. Your university is a government institution.
We are actually a private system, but we are funded by the government. Means most of the students who join here, they all are on scholarship.
See, what we do is we in our system. See, the students have to pay. It's not like that. Nothing is free. And if you sell anything free, it's not going to be accepted. Hello?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Hello?
Yes,
So
sir, you are clear.
what we try to do, we collect some funds from the students,
Okay.
and the students decide that whom to call, whom not to call.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to what? We try to take 10,000 per year, and a pool is generated, and we try to use that fund only for the development of the students, nothing
Okay.
else.
Okay.
Because what happens if you are giving free, nobody is going to accept it.
True. And how the
But
industries are
you,
responding?
but we try to make everything transparent.
Okay.
Nothing that is everything is transparent, and we don't try
I
to.
recall
The
the words
students
of
are involved.
there is one of the
The
famous
students.
entrepreneurs in USA, and his name is Dr. Frank F. Islam. I recall his words. He was willing to invest in the university system, and he has been investing means wholeheartedly in the Indian university systems these days. He said if universities prepare the human resources that are compatible for his organization, the industries will save training costs, and the cost that
Mm,
industries save in terms of training, that can be invested into these universities and systems. So don't you think that can
mhm.
be a for the industries also, that we approach them that we are going to give you the human resources, you give us your requirements, we train the students as per your requirement, and the training budget that you are going to save, the same can be invested in the university system. This is what
See,
he.
one thing is very clear. If you are adding value in the students, and if that value is added in the company will come back to you.
True.
Hello? It's a give and take. It's give and take. If you are giving value to the students, now what happens in some of the institutes, like we are only like some your director of placement asked a question that they don't come. Now we only invite them for the placements. Go there and tell them, you tell us some problems, we can solve them. Involve them. Involvement is very important. Dr. Shah,
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
hello.
I
So
can notice.
involvement is very important.
That's true.
And hello,
Yes, sir, you are audible to us. You are audible, very much audible.
anything else you want to ask?
I think that's the end of all the questions. Our dean, he has to leave in the midway, so he couldn't join. He couldn't stay till the end of this session, so he requested me to propose a vote of thanks to you. Thank you so much, Professor, for having such an enlightening session. Uh, it was an honor to have you here today. Thank you so much. And I must appreciate your concern for us because you have been associated with us for the last 3 days now. So you have been an active participant in the previous 2 days sessions also. And we are hoping to have you for tomorrow's sessions as well. So it's always good to have a personality like you, such a senior person, sharing his thoughts and wisdom with the people like us. Thank you so much. And
Dr.
to all
Shah,
the other members,
thank you. I hope
it was
everybody enjoyed the lecture.
yes,
Everybody liked the lecture. Everybody
I
liked the
can see
lecture. Everybody.
appreciations. There are a lot of appreciations, and I hope I'm sure that all the participants here would have enjoyed your session today. So it was very
So,
practically oriented, targeting the challenges that we face every day. Thank you so much.
okay, thank you,
With
Dr. Shah.
this,
Thank you.
we end to this webinar.